Good morning, this is TCR, TroyCommunityRadio.com. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN. Saturday morning programming is brought to you by Outlook Financial Center. And time now for the Mayor's Report, and with me is Mayor Michael Beamish.
I am here today there, Clint, and good morning, Clint, David, and all the listeners out there, today's program. And it's going to be a special program today. We're going to talk a little about safety in Troy, Ohio, USA.
Now, you brought a couple guests this morning that we're going to speak with.
I'm very proud to introduce two of our captains in the Troy Police Department. Captain Joe Long, which works the patrol area of Troy, and then also with me is Captain Jeff Kunkleman, who is a part of the Detective Bureau and also works closely with the schools and our resource officers.
All right, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit first about outreach and how you work with the schools.
We have a great relationship with the schools. We have a school resource officer at basically every level. We have Tracy Long in the elementary schools, covers all the elementary schools and Troy Christian. Jeff Waite in the junior high, and he also does the Van Cleve building for the sixth graders. And then Chris Tilley in the high school. Each of them has programs. Each of them gets in front of the students, and that's what we're trying to build is a rapport with the students where they're comfortable and familiar with a uniformed officer.
All right. Where does DARE fit in?
DARE is taught at the fifth grade level. We also have Keeping It Real program and an over-the-counter prescription drug program that's taught in the junior high and at the sixth grade level. So we have several DARE programs. We're trying to get a DARE-related opiate program, opiate resistance into the high school, and we're hopeful to have that kicked off next year.
All right. Certainly getting the kids at a young age aware of drugs and dangers.
Aware and you know, probably our biggest goal is to have them comfortable and to feel like the police are approachable
and that they can talk about it.
Right. And DARE, we've had DARE. We've been associated with the DARE program since 1990, so it's a long, good relationship.
All right, and excellent. Like you say, it's about building those relationships and starting it young with the kids so that they know the police aren't here as someone to be frightened of. They are here to protect us.
Right. Too often we hear parents say, "There's the police. They're going to take you to jail."
Right.
And that's not what we want to put out there.
Yeah.
We want the kids to feel comfortable walking into Chris Tilley's office at a high school level and discussing their problems or what's bothering them and what we can do to help them.
All right.
Clint, can I interject?
Sure.
I want to give a credit to Captain Jeff. We talk in this world today of violence and schools especially, and Jeff took it upon himself, along with the resource officers, to work with staff, teachers, on how to deal with situations that may involve an intruder in the school system. So I want to give a positive compliment to what Jeff has done to try to work that relationship between schools and the community.
All right, and we hear a lot about that in the news now with school shootings. How do you approach that and training?
Well, unfortunately, it's here, and
right.
We don't see it going away. So we want to be as prepared as we can. We've put together a program that incorporates ALICE, Run, Hide, Fight, and basically anything we can find that can be useful. This year we did a day-long presentation to all the staff in the Troy City schools, bus drivers, kitchen workers, everybody, teachers. And we broke it down in, we had a presentation, an hour and a half long presentation to everyone. We did actual scenarios with everyone and got a lot of of positive feedback. So hopefully, we're not sure we can prevent this, but we want people to be as prepared as they can be.
It's about being proactive.
And it's all about, what the schools want. We feel like we work for the schools, and we have a great relationship with Troy City Schools and with Chris Piper now. And, whatever they want, we try to tailor a program that fits, the message that they want to get out there.
All right. Now, Captain Joe Long, let's talk a little bit about, I know the mayor has brought up pride in the community and pride in our downtown in when you see some of the things, most recently downtown, we've had some vandalism, but it isn't limited to the downtown. Crime isn't limited to one area. It would be everywhere. Let's talk a little bit about that and the involvement.
Well, yeah, that is correct. Just not only downtown do we have issues, we have them across the community. And as what Jeff said a little bit ago and you said is, we want to be approachable, just not for the students, that's for the community as a whole.
Right.
So if they see something, it helps our job out tremendously if they give us a call immediately.
Well, I know you and I had talked the other day, and you said, you might get a call where someone says, this car has been sitting here for 4 hours. It's maybe about being a little proactive on that, and when you see something, call right then.
Correct. We don't want to give them a head start. If there's somebody out there doing something, get us involved immediately. It's not unusual for us to be told that, hey, I yelled at them, that I'm calling the cops. Don't give them the hint that we're coming.
Right.
Let us be a surprise. And if they don't call us, I've always joked around about this. If the community doesn't call us, we have nothing to do.
Right.
We are a very active police department. We do leave the county law enforcement in a number of calls per year. And for the last year, we had just a little bit under 27,000 calls for service.
Wow. And is that through 911?
A little bit of both. That's officer self-initiated activity plus the 911 calls. Okay.
And maybe something that folks don't understand, when we have the first responders and fire and rescue go out, you're also on the scene as well.
Right. We go out with all the fire calls and ambulance calls.
All right. Now, I'll talk a little bit about pride in the community. The folks, the police are always watching, trying to keep an eye on what's going on downtown, and it's the input of the citizens, too, that can help catch when something is happening.
Yeah, that's correct. Without the community's help, your help, everybody's help, it makes our job a little bit harder.
It's all about working together.
Correct.
And that's why we've got to have these good relationships between the community and our first responders, fire, police, everyone that's out there. I know most recently we had some issues downtown. The downtown is so beautiful at this time of year with the lights and the extra lights that we have. And it may seem like a small thing, but you get the vandals out there or don't think it's very much. And it doesn't take long before it looks destructive downtown. And just most recently, someone was caught that was doing some damage to some of the lower lights.
Yes, that's correct. We had some of the light poles that were damaged. I believe it was 2. But since then, we have found out who has done that and has been charged.
Well, and that's exactly it. It's being able to look out and understanding the fact that it would only be a matter of time till you get caught.
That is true. With the technology and social media today, that's a great advantage for us.
I've often said, at least 90% of the people, and Jerry Mullins has said this many times, do wonderful things. They're just law-abiding. They're very, they volunteer. As Captain Joe has been a good example. He gets involved a lot as well, and in so many different areas. But it's the 10% that causes us the most grief. And even though it's not a large majority of individuals, when they do something wrong, it affects all of us here. And I want to compliment Joe and Jeff and our other captain, Sean McKinney, for the efforts that they make to make this a safe community to live, work, play, and enjoy.
Absolutely. Very well put.
Thank you.
Now, I had brought this up before, National Night Out. I know it's not coming up anytime near, but that is a program that is designed as, I like how they've changed it in the last couple of years, where they've moved it back to the community and neighborhoods. So it's a chance not only for folks to get to know their neighbors, but the neighborhoods to get to know the officers.
It's actually more the model of what it was intended to be
Okay.
now, back in the neighborhoods, and a lot of credit to Jeff Waite, the junior high school resource officer. He had some initiative with bringing the program back, and it has worked really hard to get it, and with the other school resource officers, to get it where it is now. This will be the third year upcoming. We do plan to do it again, the same format this August. And, the first year when we wanted to take it back to the communities, it was a little rough, getting people established and involved. But last year it was great. We really had a lot more people involved, a lot more neighborhoods involved. And we're very happy with the direction it's gone.
I think it's a great chance for folks to even start thinking about it now. The more we know our neighbors, and the more that we build that relationship with the police department, it just seems like the tighter our community will be, and the ability to catch anything that's going wrong.
Well, and it's not just the police. I know each year Captain McKinney and Captain Long and I have participated all evening long, and we're getting other agencies involved. We have people from the 911 center that come along, the sheriff's departments come along,
Juvenile court
juvenile
with us last year.
Yeah, I think we had some CSB people there, children's services people there last year. So we're getting a lot of the social organizations involved, and they're traveling from place to place. It's just good for the community. Beyond neighbors becoming familiar, it's bigger than that. It's getting people familiar with the agencies that are here to support them.
All the support agencies that are out there, and it's about all of them working together themselves.
Yep.
And Mayor, you and I have said it a lot. That's working together. That's what makes a community a community.
It is partnerships, and they just shared that. And I'd be remiss if I didn't. That starts with the chief of police, Chief Phelps, and all the officers, the first responders that every day take their job very seriously. And we always wish them a safe day, every day a safe day, not only for the community, but for the officers that are protecting us.
Absolute a team effort.
It's a team effort all the way down. And as they said, we have a great relationship with the sheriff's office and the courts and many other agencies that deal with safety.
Mayor, can you think of any other questions that we can ask the gentleman this morning?
I think our two captains did a really nice job. What I really want to say, and my intent was today is to show we have very dedicated people from the chief all the way down to our everyday officers that are on the streets. What they do to help our citizens. It isn't all about catching the bad guys.
Right.
It's about providing safety to all of us, and that's what they do. And we heard some programs that are being offered, outreach kinds of things that we are trying to do. Yes, we want pride in our community, and yes, we don't want vandalism, but that's sometimes we have to deal with that. But I'd like to say that again, 90% of all of our citizens, maybe 95% of all of our citizens try to do what's right. It's those 5% that cause caused us a lot of time and effort and concern.
All right. I do want to ask one more question, and that's just being in the time of year that we're in. Do you have any tips that you would put out there for folks with the way the weather has been? Just bad road conditions. I mean, I always say slow down, but I don't think people just listen to me.
Yeah, I would agree with you. That's the biggest thing, is slow down, take your time. Just because you think you can go the speed limit doesn't mean you can go the speed limit. That is our biggest issue, is what we refer to as an ACD, or short clear distance, which is a speed crash. And that's usually our number one causing factors of a crash. So, just because you think you can do it, don't do it. I mean,
and just because someone's vehicle may be able to go, whether it's four-wheel drive, nobody else on the road, it doesn't mean everybody has that.
Yeah, the four-wheel drive doesn't really mean
No.
you're going to stop in time.
No.
Either. So, you just need to take some time, slow down, and don't be in such a hurry.
All right. I appreciate both of you stopping by this afternoon, for sure, this morning. And Mayor, I know you have council coming up. It's waylaid a day this week.
That's right. We have February, it's 18th is President's Day, and city offices are closed. So council will move back a day on the 19th at 7 o'clock at City Hall. However, I always want to share, if you have a Monday trash pickup day, get the trash out. We stay on target and on schedule for trash and recycling pickup.
All right. And if you can't make council live, you can watch it live on the city website, troyohio.gov.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for stopping by, Captain Jeff Kunkleman and Captain Joe Long, along with Mayor Michael Beamish. This has been the Mayor's Report. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN.